I mean, I don't know, man. That sucked. That sucked. Welcome back to the channel, guys. We got a Rockets recap video here for you. The energy would be very different if they had won. I get the Rockets are rebuilding, and I get that we're playing a phenomenal team in the Los Angeles Lakers. And I understand it was a good loss, but just because it was a good loss doesn't make the pain any less unpainful. Fuck, dude. Like, come on. The Rockets had plenty of opportunities to win this basketball game tonight. And granted, so did Los Angeles. It was sloppy. It was a sloppy game. The game ended 119 to 117 in favor for the Lakers, but shit was sloppy, dude. It was sloppy for both teams, especially in the first half. Fuck, dude. That sucked, man. Jalen Green, I think what we realized tonight is just what we already knew, that Jalen Green's going to be a really good basketball player. He's just taking a little bit of time to get acclimated to the NBA speed, to the NBA game. 7 turnovers tonight. It's an issue. But we're literally 7 games into the season, 8 games into the season, so I wouldn't look too much in it. It sucks. It sucks, man. I know, like I said, the Rocks are rebuilding, but it just doesn't make it any less easy. It sucks, man. Losing games like this that you could have won, it's not good. And I will say this, the Rockets, they never quit tonight, man. They had 70 points in the first half. The third quarter was tough to watch. The start of the fourth quarter was tough to watch. But you know what the Rockets never did? They never gave up. They never quit. And for that, you got to give them major props. Like, LeBron had a great game. AD had a good game. Russ had a good game. The Lakers came ready to play. Yeah, they were a little sloppy as far as turnovers go, but I thought it was a pretty solid game. Both teams comfortably shot over 50% from the field, so it was a lot of offense. And like I said, the Rockets had scored 70 points in the first half, and that was a huge deal. That was something we hadn't really seen from the Rockets until this game was and maybe the Celtics game was a good first quarter. Like, usually what happens so far this season is the Rockets get off to such a slow start in the first quarter that they have to build their way back the whole game. And then once the fourth quarter comes, it's just too late. It's just too late. That wasn't the case tonight. The Rockets had plenty of opportunities to win. Like I said, so did the Lakers. Let's look at the turnover totals because it was bad, man. 24 for the Rockets. This is back-to-back 20 turnover nights. The Lakers, not that much better with 17 turnovers. Good news is the Rockets shot 38% from downtown. We don't have that many sharp shooters on the team, so I think good shooting percentages from downtown is very reassuring. Rebounds were right there. The assists were in the Rockets' favors. The steals, the blocks, they were all right there. The Lakers had significantly more transition points in the paint as well. But the Rockets, you can tell game by game, they're inching their way closer and closer to relevancy. Now, actually, you know what? Real quick, before we get into player by player, I have a statement. Stephen Silas needs to stop challenging it. I don't understand it. I understand you want momentum. But if it's the first quarter, if it's the second quarter, if it's the third quarter, don't challenge it. I understand momentum's important early in games, but let me blow your mind, Steven. Momentum is critical in the end of the game. Stop calling challenges in the second quarter. This is something I complained about the other night. I think it was in the Dallas game. Stephen Silas, I cannot believe this happened. And this is why I give Stephen Silas so much shit, because I know a lot of teams deal with rotation issues. In the first 10 games especially, you're going to have rotation issues on every single team. You're not going to know who to play 100% yet. So rotation issues, I can deal with that. But there is absolutely no reason, there is zero reason the other night to challenge something in the second quarter when it was an and one. There was an and one foul, which means the layup's going to count regardless of the challenge or not. The Rockets end up winning the challenge, so the other team still scores 2 points. You still score 2 points. It's absolutely ridiculous. So, same shit tonight. You saw Russell Westbrook get fouled, and Stephen Silas has no challenge. Thankfully, the Rockets were able to somehow sneak their way into getting the ball back. But these are the things I'm saying. These are the issues I have with Silas, where it's like, why? Like, it blows my, like, if you're so talented, you would have been an NBA coach before then, and it's like, that's not a fair statement to say. But then you do shit like this, and it's like, brother, what? Like, if I was a 2K coach, I would know not to challenge it in the second quarter. So that's all I want to say about Stephen Silas. Moving on to players, Jae'Sean Tate did phenomenal tonight, guys. 20 points, 5 rebounds, 9 of 14 from the field, 2 of 4 from downtown. He was shooting 18% from downtown heading into this game and like 40% from the field. So it's really nice to see Jae'Sean Tate offensively get it going against a team like the Los Angeles Lakers. Like, that is literally perfect. 1 steal, 2 blocks as well for Jae'Sean. Keep him in the starting lineup. I got no issues with it. If he's going to be playing like this, I have no issues. Christian Wood continued his very impressive season. The only reason it's not being talked about is because he's on the Houston Rockets and they're 1-6. 26 points, 16 rebounds. Now, granted, Los Angeles was without Dwight Howard, but let's not act like they had DeAndre Jordan. Let's not act like they didn't have Anthony Davis, who was the matchup. It was Anthony Davis and Christian Wood. I will never, ever in my life complain with 26 and 16 from Christian Wood, ever in my life. That is phenomenal. I'm glad he's shooting the ball well. He went 11 of 19 from the field. This is exactly what you want to see from Christian Wood. Alperen Sengun, hopefully you guys realize this is why he's not a starter. 5 turnovers, 4 fouls. Like, I get so many comments saying, why is Alperen Sengun not starting? It's because Daniel Theis is going to start for the first half of the season, and then once Alperen Sengun gets comfortable and confident, that's when they'll deploy him in the starting lineup. He's not ready for it quite yet, especially against a team like the Los Angeles Lakers. Kevin Porter Jr., another sloppy night, 5 turnovers for him, but he did have 5 rebounds, 8 assists, 4 steals. It's a little sloppy, but it's really nice to see the supporting statistics high. Like, it's so much better than the other night where he had 1 assist or 2 assists. Like, I'm so glad that he's at least improving. He hasn't had the greatest start to the season, but he's at least improving. Jalen Green, this was a phenomenal game. If you were watching it, up until like halfway through the second quarter, it looked like Jalen Green was going to score 40 tonight. He finished with 24 points, 5 assists, 2 rebounds, and 5 threes, so he did a great job. And then shout out and kudos to this Rockets bench. They were a huge reason that they were able to remain in this game. KJ Martin Jr. finally got minutes, saw 28 of them, made the most of it, 6 of 8 from the field, 2 of 3 from downtown for 14 points, 4 rebounds, and 3 assists. David Nwaba got it going with 5 points. DJ Augustine had 2 threes, finished with 7 points. Then Armani Brooks had a nice 3 at one point in the game to finish with 4. So all in all, yeah, it didn't end the way we wanted it to, but things are definitely on their way up. So that's it for today. That's it for the recap. I'll do like a next day video tomorrow. If you want to stay tuned for that, hit the like button, hit that subscribe button. Appreciate all you guys who tuned into my live stream tonight. I'll see you guys tomorrow.